Book of Secrets, Chapter 2, The Path of Yoga and the Path of Tantra. You are angry, Tantra. You will not say, do not be angry. Tantra will say, be angry wholeheartedly, but be aware. Tantra is not against anger. Tantra is only against spiritual sleepiness, spiritual unconsciousness. Be aware and be angry. And this is the secret of the method, that if you are aware, anger is transformed. It becomes compassion. So Tantra says, anger is not your enemy. It is compassion in seed form. The same anger, the same energy will become compassion. If you fight with it, then there will be no possibility for compassion. So if you succeed in fighting, in suppression, you will be a dead man. There will be no anger because you have suppressed it. But there will be no compassion either, because only anger can be transformed into compassion. If you succeed in your suppression, which is impossible, then there will be no sex, but no love either. Because with sex dead, there is no energy to grow into love. So you will be without sex, but you will also be without love. And then the whole point is missed, because without love, there is no divineness. Without love, there is no liberation. And without love, there is no freedom. Tantra says that these same energies are to be transformed. It can be said in this way: if you are against the world, then there is no nirvana, because this world itself is to be transformed into nirvana. Then you are against the basic energies, which are the source. So Tantra alchemy says, do not fight. Be friendly with all the energies that are given to you. Welcome them. Feel grateful that you have anger, that you have sex, that you have greed. Feel grateful because these are the hidden sources, and they can be transformed. They can be opened. And when sex is transformed, it becomes love. The poison is lost. The ugliness is lost. The seed is ugly, but when it becomes alive, it sprouts and flowers. Then there is beauty. Do not throw away the seed, because then you are also throwing the flowers in it. They are not there yet, not yet manifest so that you can see them. They are unmanifest, but they are there. Use this seed so that you can attain to flowers. So first let there be acceptance, a sensitive understanding and awareness. Then indulgence, then indulgence is allowed. one thing more, which is really very strange, but one of the deepest discoveries of Tantra, and that is, whatsoever you take as your enemy's greed, anger, hate, sex, whatsoever your attitude, that there are enemies makes them your enemies. Take them as divine gifts and approach them with a very grateful heart. For example, Tantra has developed many techniques for the transformation of sexual energy. Approach the sex act as if you are approaching the temple of the divine. Approach the sex act if it is prayer, as if it is meditation. Feel the holiness of it. That is why in Quadrail, in Puri, in Karnarak, every temple has a matham, intercourse, sculptures. The sect act on the walls of the temples seems illogical, particularly for Christianity, for Islam, for Jainism. It seems inconceivable, contradictory. How is the temple connected with the Matham pictures? On the outer walls of the Quadrail temples, every conceivable type of sex act is pictured in stone. Why? In a temple, it doesn't have any place, in our minds at least. Christianity cannot conceive of a church wall with Quadrail pictures. Impossible. Modern Hindus also feel guilty because the minds of modern Hindus are created by Christianity. They are Hindu Christians. And they are worse because to be a Christian is good, but to be a Hindu Christian is just weird. They feel guilty. One Hindu leader Purushottam Das Tandon even proposed that these temples should be destroyed, that they do not belong to us. Really, it looks like they do not belong to us because Tantra has not been in our hearts for a long time, for centuries. It has not been the main current. Yoga has been the main current, and for yoga, Quadrail is inconceivable. It must be destroyed. Tantra says, approach the sect act as if you are entering a holy temple. That is why they have pictured the sex act on their holy temples. They have said, approach sex as if you are entering a holy temple. Thus, when you enter a holy temple, sex must be there in order that the two become conjoined in your mind, associated. Then you can feel that the world and the divine are not two fighting elements, but one. They are not contradictory. They are just polar opposites helping each other. And they can exist only because of this polarity. If this polarity is lost, the whole world is lost. So see the deep oneness running through everything. Do not see only the polar opposites. See the interrunning current, which makes them one. For Tantra, everything is holy. Remember this. For Tantra, everything is holy. Nothing is unholy. Look at it this way. For an irreligious person, everything is unholy. For so-called religious persons, something is holy. Something is unholy. For Tantra, everything is holy. Remember this, for Tantra, everything is holy. Nothing is unholy. Look at it this way. For an irreligious person, everything is unholy. For so-called religious persons, something is holy. Something is unholy. For Tantra, everything is holy. One Christian missionary was with me a few days ago and said, God created the world. So I asked him, who created sin? He said, the devil. Then I asked him, who created the devil? Then he was at a loss. He said, of course, God created the devil. The devil creates sin and God creates the devil. Then who is the real sinner? The devil or God? But the dualist conception always leads to such absurdities. For Tantra, God and the devil are not two. Really. For Tantra, there is nothing that can be called devil. Everything is divine. Everything is holy. And this seems to be the right standpoint, the deepest. If anything is unholy in this world, from where does it come? And how can it be? From this point on, God will be substituted as goddess. So only two alternatives are there. First, the alternative of the atheist who says everything is unholy. This attitude is okay. He is also a non-dualist. He sees no holies in the world. Then there is the tantrics alternative. He says everything is holy. He is also a non-dualist. But between these two are the so-called religious persons.